Hey guys, it's VEDS Day 20. VEDS Day 20. And I was talking about going to show you my foods for the day, which I'm going to do later in the week. But I just kind of had an epiphany over the last couple days, and I just kind of wanted to share. And now the fan is on. Oz is in here. I hope you can hear me. I'll try to speak up. And not that any of this matters, but I've really been trying to soul search, and I've really been trying to figure out exactly what happened to me and where I went wrong. Now, I know not everybody gains 40 pounds during pregnancy, and a lot of weight loss surgery patients don't gain 40 pounds during pregnancy. But immediately after pregnancy, I initially lost quite a bit of weight. So, I know some of that was fluid and added baggage. So, anyways, for a very long time, just in trying to get this regain off, Brianna and I have been discussing lots of things. And I think I've discussed with you too that when I was trying to breastfeed, as you guys, if you've not followed me, then you don't remember, but so I breastfed for about 10 months. And my child would not latch on, so I actually exclusively pumped. And that was a very hard and very emotional time for me because, you just feel like you're doing something wrong. It's almost like all those same feelings of infertility, the same things you were kind of going through with infertility, come flooding back when you cannot provide milk for your child. And I just went crazy during that time, hormonal wise, and then I couldn't take anything. I went crazy. Okay, so here's where all this came from. I follow this one vlog. Sometimes there for a while she'll do weight loss vlogs. She's not a weight loss surgery patient, but she used to do weigh-in Wednesdays, but she does family vlogs every day. And she just had a baby. Matter of fact, the baby, look at my acne. What in the world? The baby's 2 weeks old. And so she has been trying to breastfeed, which is not going that great. So she's been pumping constantly. And she's been talking about some of the things that she's been eating and some of the things that she's been doing and how defeated she feels. And it just all came back for me. And one of the things that she's doing is making these lactation cookies, and that include like brewer's yeast. They are not that unhealthy. They're made with brewer's yeast. They're made with real butter. They're made with oatmeal. They're made with, you can add chocolate chips or peanut butter. You can add whatever you want to them. There's tons of sugar, brown sugar and regular sugar, I think. I can't remember, but it just dawned on me. I was eating those. I was making a couple batches a week. And other people in my house were eating them too. But I was trying to increase my supply so much that I quit being, the whole time I was pregnant, there come a point in my pregnancy where I started not caring as much about my diet, which I think happens with any pregnancy. But I still had pretty good restriction, and I was still somewhat mindful just because I knew whatever I was eating was also going to the baby. But when I was trying to produce breast milk, I quit being a weight loss surgery patient. I just did. And all I did was focus on that constantly. And I was talking to Brianna yesterday, and then yesterday afternoon I was talking to Liz, and I was telling them both. And of course, and Brianna remembers that time. Liz didn't remember that time. We weren't really friends then. And Brie was like, you were crazy. She said, that's all you talked about. She said, that's all you did. She said, you were constantly reading articles. You were constantly eating crazy foods. If somebody told you that you should take a certain something to help you increase your milk supply, you were doing it. And it just came all flooding back to me. And I was cracking myself up. I was like, gosh, I quit. So for 10 months, I basically threw everything out that I knew about how to eat, what was healthiest for my body, and I only focused on how to make more milk. And I knew that, but I just had not really processed that. So, I mean, and again, some things that you were eating to increase your breast milk supply for the average Joe is not even that big of a deal. I mean, you're supposed to eat a lot of high-fat foods, which is fine, but I was eating high-fat foods plus high-carb foods. I ate a buttload of sweet potatoes. I was putting brewer's yeast in everything. I ate a buttload of brown sugar. I ate a buttload of butter. I ate a buttload of those cookies. I ate a buttload of avocados. Again, there's nothing wrong with avocados, but if you're eating all those avocados plus all this, I can't even remember. I've got a list on my fridge. Tons of oatmeal. I ate so much oatmeal. I was trying to put oatmeal in like everything I did. That again, another thing. I was eating, quite a bit of milk. I mean, I was doing just whatever. I was drinking Gatorade out the wazoo. Do you know how much sugar is in Gatorade? Yeah, because that was one of the things that actually helped my supply, and I knew it, and I was drinking it out the wazoo. There's just so many little things like that. So for 10 months, plus 9.5 months, that's all I focused on. Well, no wonder I jacked my body up. I mean, I'm not trying to make excuses, but again, I've still been sticking to the ketogenic diet plan. I've not messed up. I've really done good. I think I talked about having a few bites of cake and then, but other than that, I've been sticking to plan. I've been eating exactly the way I'm supposed to do. I've been getting my water in. I've been working out. I will say this, another thing Brianna made the comment to me on was, she's like, I'm not at all trying to make light of your workout. She said, I know that you're trying to get walks and runs and, going to the gym and stuff in. She said, but you were killing it before. And she's right. And I got to thinking about that. And, I know I've talked about this with you guys. I am trying to make time for those things, but I feel guilty asking people to watch Oz, and I feel guilty being away from him for very long. And, so I try to include him on those exercises, and I want him to see me be healthy too. And she's like, I get it. I'm not making a lot about your situation, but she's like, you were just killing it in the gym all the time. And I was. I had no other responsibilities besides my husband. I had her kids, which are technically not responsibility, but I've made them my responsibility all these years. And she travels a lot, but they're big enough now, and even then, 2 years ago, that, it was, I could take them with me to the gym and that kind of stuff. Again, I'm not making excuses, but I'm really trying to be mindful and just figure out exactly what happened to me. And somebody made a video yesterday just talking about regain. I can't even remember who it was. And they were just talking about post weight loss surgery and the things that you go through and things that you deal with. And I just got so tickled because this whole time I just was thinking, but I didn't do any of that on purpose. I didn't regain on purpose. I realized at some point after the 10 months I continued to eat but I didn't. I remember trying to buckle down immediately. Again, I'm not saying I don't have bad days. Well, I was having bad days. I don't really have bad days right now. But just in general, my diet for the last 2 years has really not been that bad. And I just continue to not lose the weight. So I am sure that I had metabolic and metabolism issues pre-weight loss surgery, which is the reason I think weight loss surgery was so successful for me. I am sure during pregnancy, you do some things to your body. In pregnancy, if you've ever been pregnant, then you'll know you're never the same after. But I definitely think during the breastfeeding process, I jacked myself up completely and regained my metabolism / hormonal / metabolic issues, whatever. I think they're back. And, again, I'm not making excuses. I just am not exactly sure where to go now. So, still keeping on with this lifestyle. I'm not unhappy. There was a lot of people that made comments yesterday about watching videos and being a couple weeks or months post keto before you start being fat adapted or having the energy boost. I think I went back and calculated. I'm 6 weeks tomorrow, maybe 7. Maybe I'm 7 weeks tomorrow. I need to go back and look. That I've been eating in this lifestyle. And again, I'm not at all trying not to be thankful for the weight that I've lost during this time. And I do think that my body has changed some, but it's not a significant amount as I'm seeing other people. And again, I'm not unhappy with this way of life. So I'm going to continue to do it. And I do think that there is something to it. And hopefully my body's eventually going to be like, hey, it's time. It's time to make the switch. And just start losing the weight. But we'll see. Okay, guys, I've rambled on enough. I know that this was just I don't know. Okay. Bye.